Many people believe that adding salt to water makes it boil quicker, but this is a myth. Today we're going to answer this by doing a couple things. First, we're going to interview some people on what they think salt does to water when you heat it up. Also, we're going to perform an experiment to show you what actually happens, and then finally we're going to conclude.
That one I can't remember. I don't think it changes either one.
It affects the chemical compound, so it makes it boil faster. I don't know how much faster. It might be like not even worth it kind of thing. But I know that chefs say to add salt to the water because then it makes the starch in the pasta not stick as much. So that's why a lot of people add salt to water for pasta. Some people add salt to water for hard-boiled eggs, and I don't think that matters ultimately.
Thanks.
No. No, it doesn't.
Okay, to do this experiment, we had to find how many grams of salt we were going to use, and we know we wanted to change the boiling point by 2 degrees Celsius. So what we did is we used this equation called the change in temperature is equal to I times the K constant times M. So how we did this is we knew we wanted the change in temperature to be 2 degrees Celsius, so we set that equal to 2, and you can see that right here. The I value is how many atoms are in your solute, so we just looked at that, and so Na has 1, and then Cl has 1, which is sodium chloride, and for a sum of 2, so I became 2, and then this boiling point constant is always 0.52, so we just plug that in. Then what we did here is we solve for M, which is molality, and molality is moles of the solute over kilograms of the solute. So once we got an M value, we solved for the moles because we knew how many kilograms we were going to have, and then once we had moles, we converted to grams, and we're going to use 11 grams of salt in our experiment. So what we have right here is sodium chloride, which is just normal table salt, and what we're going to do is we're going to put it in this beaker and stir it up, and then what we're going to do is turn on the hot plates so that they're all at the same temperature and see which beaker boils faster. And we're going to do that using this software called Logger Pro, and it's just going to graph what's happening temperature-wise within the graph. So both of these beakers are at the same temperature, but this is at a much more rolling of a boil, while this is only slightly boiling, showing that salt water actually makes the boiling temperature higher than the normal water. We have right here is the graph of our results. On the y-axis you see the degrees Celsius, and on the x-axis you see our time. So if you look at our key, you're going to see that the blue line represents the salt water and the red line represents normal water. So what we found for normal water is that it boiled at 94.2 degrees Celsius after 325 seconds, about 25 seconds, while the salt water took another 25 seconds to boil and also had to reach a higher temperature. So this actually discredits the myth that you have that salt makes water boil quicker. We also, water boils at 100 degrees Celsius at sea level, but since we're so high above sea level in Bellevue, Idaho, or in Haley, Idaho, we actually had to find our percent error. So our percent error was about 2.55%, and the reason it's only that small is because water is expected to boil at 98 degrees Celsius at about our elevation. So there was some error within our experiment, but nothing too big.